What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another one of my videos. Today we're going to be taking a look at weekend gaps and how to trade them, so stay tuned. We're getting into it right now. So the weekend gap is a super popular topic among traders because it can create some really interesting opportunities, and there are some great ways to trade them. So make sure you stay tuned until the end of this video. I've got some concepts for you that I think you'll find very valuable. Also, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and thumbs up down below. That really does support my channel, and I really appreciate it. So taking a look here at the weekend gap, let's talk about the concept first so that we understand, well, why do these gaps occur? What you can see here on Aussie dollar is that we had a gap up of just over 70 pips there over a Friday to Sunday gap. Now, contrary to what most traders think, markets actually trade 24/7, but retail traders only have access to a particular time on the weekends. The brokers close and they don't offer trading to retail traders. However, banks continue to trade over the weekend, maybe just on light volume, right? So there's not a ton of volume, but there are institutions and hedge funds and trading banks and all sorts of institutions that are still trading over that weekend, exchanging money, especially, this is the currency exchange market, and the currency exchange market makes the world go round, right? So when we're looking here at Aussie dollar, we see this major gap up. So there must have been some sort of news that happened that caused markets to move heavily over the weekend. And so retail traders, they saw price close around here again, and then we saw a major movement on that following Monday, depending on where you are, sometimes Sunday, depending again where you are in the world. That will be either a Sunday or Monday. On the gap open, you can see we gapped open 70 pips there. A massive movement to the upside, bullishness in the Aussie dollar. So with that said, let's talk about why, let's talk about what's going on, and let's talk about some ways to trade that. So again, this is our gap. You can see that major area of whiteness in the chart. I think that the chart really hates whiteness there. It really hates that gap, or that left open area. It's like a void that most of the time will get filled. People will say it very commonly that gaps do get filled in most cases, and that's very true. In most scenarios, the market wants to retrace, it wants to fill that gap because that's a void, and that there was not proper, full volume trading in that area, right? So we had this big gap up. So a lot of times what you're gonna see is the market wants to fill that and kind of trade back and test those levels. I talk about it all the time on my channel, that it's very common to see in the markets that the market wants to retrace and test significant structural levels. Now this gap is a significant level because it has not fully been tested, right? Heavy volume did not really get a chance to play out here. So with that said, a lot of times what you're going to see is you're going to see price want to come down and fill that gap. However, not necessarily does it always just right away fill the gap. Sometimes we have some interesting levels, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about in terms of a trading setup. So we gapped up about 70 pips up to this area, and this is going to be a major structural level. Another major structural level is going to be this gap open, or where the gap closed previously in last week, right? So we saw that major gap up to the long side. Now this is our gap fill, right? So this is where gap fill comes in. You can see gap fill, excuse my terrible handwriting. So that's our gap fill level right there. And this is where we gap opened, right? So this is, I'm going to say gap opened, right? So you guys get it. Gap open is where we opened up the trade, and you can see price moved up to this level and started to retrace, started to want to fill that gap right away that we mentioned, that void that was in the charts. Now, what we can see, however, is there becomes an interesting level, and I'm actually going to go ahead and just draw it in here with a horizontal line. What you can see is here is what I'm going to call our barrier. Let me also just put in our gap fill here. And we'll also go ahead and put in our gap open, because these are relative points when talking about gaps. I know some people who trade gaps exclusively, and for good reason. There's some really good opportunities, especially once you start seeing kind of the repeatable patterns when it comes to gaps. A lot of times when you see the markets rally, what you see is here's our gap fill, here's our gap open, and price oftentimes finds a barrier. I'm going to put B for barrier. Now, what do I mean by barrier? Well, let's talk about the actual scenario. Let's talk about the story here when it comes to gaps. right? We see a market that has made a major move to the upside, and there are likely bulls who want to defend that movement, right? They've seen price gap up and they want to let price run to the upside and continue further in its move rather than to let it just fill that gap, right? So there's people who are in profits and they're probably trying to push this trend and continue it on. And a lot of times we do see that. We see gaps that sometimes will do something like this, right? That's the previous week. We see a gap up and then we see a continued move to the upside by that gap before eventually coming back. So with that said, we have some people in here that are likely wanting to defend this structure of buy zone support, right? So when price came back down to this level, you can see price made a movement up from that barrier or that support zone here that we are identifying. And what you see is that again, when price did fall back again, you can see that we found support in that same general area here again before getting a nice little rally here of I'm going to guess that's probably like 30 to 40 pips there. So not bad at all. So that's a trading strategy by itself. I know some people who like to trade this style. Again, we have that major gap up. We're looking for a retracement and we're looking to find where buyers step in. So we identify that on this go, you can see right here that buyers stepped in and pushed price higher. Then on the retest, right, we came back to that structural level again. There's very strong demand there, as indicated historically, right? And so in a lot of cases, the market will rally from there and we'll find support at that same structural level. So again, that's just a one way to trade gaps. You can see we look for the barrier to try and find some sort of buyer support. Now, if this market just decided to, immediately fill the gap, that can happen too. In a lot of cases, what you'll see is markets just gap up and quickly fill that void. That's something to consider. However, a lot of times we also get this scenario playing out where we see that kind of that bullish support kind of defend that gap up. So hopefully that makes sense there. That's just one way to trade it. Let's talk about another way to trade the gap. Now, another way to trade the gap is to actually try and trade the gap fill. Now, the gap fill is a little bit tricky because sometimes the market wants to continue after the gap and sometimes it wants to get filled. So you kind of have to play it by ear. What we can look in this scenario, one thing that was nice is we identified again that barrier of support, but then look what happened if we take a look to the right. You can see that inevitably price broke through that level of structure in support and actually became a major level of resistance. You can see price retested that level, and that would have been a fantastic opportunity to take advantage of this gap fill. You can see price returned up to this level, found sellers in this area where demand once was, support became resistance, and price actually fell down to test these lows and to actually completely fill the gap. Right, so a lot of times that's what you're going to see play out in the market. You're going to see some sort of attempt to try and push the market up. You'll see people, who are trying to just straight up short this market. They might get stopped out before inevitably the price rolls over and comes back to fill the gap. So a lot of times you want to be looking for those gap retracements, and personally my preferred method is not to try and fight the gap. A lot of times the gap will want to get close. Again, talking about that void, talking about that lack of volume in that area, you're going to see the market want to oftentimes go back and retest the gap fill. Again, where we opened up, or I'm sorry, where we closed last week, a lot of times price wants to return to that level. It's almost like a magnet, right? So there's like a magnet. This is a terrible, terrible magnet, but I'm going to draw it anyways. You can see this is our magnet, right? So magnetizing price here, pulling it down to test that gap fill. So again, you're going to see that a lot of times in markets when it comes to big gaps, especially over that Forex weekend market gap. One more thing to consider when talking about the weekend gap is you want to consider that usually at the beginning of the week in the Forex market on that Sunday when markets do decide to open up, a lot of times there is very, very low liquidity in the market. Spreads can be very, very ridiculous. So one thing to just add, we mentioned that a lot of times people will try and just simply fade this market movement. You can see a lot of times people will try to, on this initial movement, after price breaks to the upside, they'll try and just short into this. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times what's going to happen when you try and short right away when the market first opens, your broker is going to give you a terrible, terrible entry because of that lack of liquidity. They're not going to have the spreads available to you that you want. You want to wait, in my opinion, for some sort of, for the spreads to tighten to get a little bit better of an entry. Again, usually by this area and this area, you have really, really nice tight spreads in most brokers if they're decent ones, right? They're going to give you nice spreads and give you the opportunity to get into these trades relatively easy. Again, trading right around here is not for me, in my opinion, because of that low liquidity where there's not really a great spread for you to get entered. You might actually, even if you tried to go short, you might get filled down here or down here, right? And that would be rough because that would give you it would give you a pretty bad entry. So unless you have the other scenario, I actually used to trade this strategy. I used to actually fade the gap pretty successfully with a broker that offered fixed spreads. I'm not going to name their names because they're no longer relevant, but I used to trade it like that. So I would be able to get right into the trade right around this area. And a lot of times in the right market environment, if it came into a significant level of structure or resistance or some sort of longer term trend line that I liked, I would be able to just get into the trade right there and kind of with a fixed, they give you fixed spread. So price would, you're guaranteed to get into the trade with a spread of, let's say, 3 to 4 pips. So really, that was a pretty effective way to trade it, but no longer relevant in most brokers. They don't offer that. But however, again, just a little word of advice: be careful with trying to get in right around the beginning. If you're looking to fade gaps, my personal opinion is to wait for some sort of structure to give you an idea of where markets may be headed next. Guys, I hope you got something out of this. I've got more videos for you here in this playlist. Please click into this playlist and check out some more of my content. I do appreciate it. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you next time.